Back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens. Welcome back to our channel, you guys. Today is just a wild, crazy day in the soap world, and we have so much to unpack. Grab a coffee or maybe something way stronger because things are getting absolutely out of control in general. We are diving deep into the latest messy drama today, so let's just jump right into it. So let's talk about Phyllis. Phyllis Summers is currently hanging out in her room at the GCAC, and she is definitely not alone. No, she is in there with Matt Clark, and she is where this incredibly revealing sexy blue satin nightgown. It's literally slipping off her shoulder as she flirts with him. She is actively seducing Matt, and honestly, I am just sitting here staring at the screen in absolute disbelief. What are they thinking? What is the writing team doing? But let's be real, this is beyond just a soapy twist. This is genuinely disturbing. I mean, let's just pause and think about the history here. Matt Clark is a monster. He is the man who horrifically assaulted Sharon Newman. Sharon, who Phyllis actually bonded with not that long ago when they were both held hostage by that psycho Martin Laron. They survived that trauma together. They formed a connection. And now Phyllis is trying to seduce the man who destroyed her friend's life? It's disgusting. It really is. I'm sorry, but it's awful. Josh Griffith needs therapy. Seriously, the head writer needs psychological therapy if he thinks it is entertaining or acceptable to watch a woman seduce her friend's abuser. It makes my skin crawl. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. There are lines you just don't cross, and the writers are sprinting across the... But why is she doing it? Phyllis is a schemer. We know this. We have known this for decades. She is probably trying to manipulate Matt to use him against Victor Newman. Victor has been backing her into a corner, using AI to steal her company, threatening her, and Phyllis is desperate. She needs a pawn. And Matt, with his convenient little amnesia act, is the perfect... But playing a game is one thing. Putting on lingerie and throwing yourself at a violent predator is another. It just ruins Phyllis. It makes her look desperate and gross. And the fans on social media are completely losing their minds over this. Everyone is just disgusted. And then, of course, the worst possible thing happens. Nick walks in. Nick Newman actually walks right into the GCAC room and catches them in this incredibly awkward, intimate situation. Now, we have to remember Nick's state of mind, right? Nick is a complete mess. He is spiraling. He has been struggling so hard with his fentanyl addiction ever since Matt tortured him in Vegas. He is paranoid, he is traumatized, and he is barely holding it together. And on top of all of that, Nick just secretly DNA tested Matt and found out that Matt shares Newman blood. So Nick's brain is already breaking from the horrific revelation that his abuser is his own flesh and blood. So Nick opens the door, and what does he see? He sees his ex-wife, the mother of his daughter Summer, half naked in a blue satin nightgown, flirting with the man who ruined his life, the man who fueled his addiction, the man who assaulted. It is the ultimate betrayal. Nick just snaps. You can see the exact moment his sanity just shatters into a million pieces. He is staring at Phyllis, and he is staring at Matt, and the urge to just relapse completely and drown in drugs is overwhelming him. This is the exact trigger that is going to push him right back into the darkest hole of his addiction. And then it happens. Nick slaps Phyllis. He actually slaps her across the face. It is a shocking, violent moment. Nick is usually the protector, the good guy, the hero complex guy, but he hits her. The sound of the slap just echoes in that hotel room. Now, let me be clear. Hitting a woman is never okay. Never. But from a purely dramatic standpoint, you can see how the writers pushed him to this absolute breaking. He is a man on the edge of a massive drug relapse, witnessing the ultimate sick betrayal. He just completely loses control of his body and his actions. Right after the slap, Phyllis is stunned. She is holding her face, completely in shock, but she recovers quickly. And you can instantly see the fury and the calculation in her eyes. Her face is just full of absolute rage. But before she can even do anything, Matt jumps in. Matt Clark, the actual villain, the actual predator, suddenly gets to play the White Knight. It makes me sick. Matt intervenes, looking shocked and smug all at the same time, and he shoves Nick hard. He pushes Nick away from Phyllis, acting like he is defending this poor, abused woman from her unhinged ex-husband. And the confrontation doesn't just stay in the room. Oh no, it spills out. It turns into a massive, fiery public confrontation right there at the end. They are yelling, they are shoving, and it creates this huge, chaotic scene in front of everyone. The GCAC is always packed with Genoa City's elite. People are staring. People are pulling out their phones. It is a complete public brawl. Nick is screaming at Matt. Matt is pushing back, and Phyllis is right in the middle of it all, soaking up the attention. This public spectacle is exactly what Nick did not need. The incident quickly catches the attention of the Newman family and the local press. The media is going to have a field day with it. Newman air attacks ex-wife at local club. It turns Nick into the absolute center of a massive public scandal. He looks like an abusive, out-of-control addict, which, sadly, he kind of is right now because this whole sick scene is driving him straight back to the pills. But it completely destroys his reputation. Victor is going to lose his mind when he finds out about this. And what is Phyllis going to do? She is going to play the victim. Of course she is. Phyllis sees an opportunity and she takes it. She is going to spin this entire narrative to make herself look like the abused, terrified woman and Nick look like the monster. She will probably use this to get leverage over the news. She will hold this over Nick's head, over Victor's head. Look what your son did to me. It is so manipulative and so dark. She is literally standing next to a rapist, playing the victim, because the man who was tortured by that rapist finally snapped. Honestly, I just can't get over how messed up this whole dynamic is. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. The writers are just tearing down years of character development for shock value. Think about Summer. How is Summer going to react when she finds out her dad slapped her mom, but her mom was trying to sleep with Matt Clark? Summer is going to be disgusted with both of them. It is going to tear that family apart even more than it already is. And let's talk about Sharon again. When Sharon hears about this public brawl, when she hears that Nick slapped Phyllis because Phyllis was in a slipping nightgown with Matt, Sharon is going to break. She has been trying to help Nick. She has been worried sick about him. And to know that Phyllis, someone she survived Martin Laurent with, is now cozying up to Matt, it is going to destroy Sharon. The betrayal is just too deep. It is a betrayal of sisterhood, of friendship, of basic human decency. I just keep going back to that image of Phyllis in the blue satin nightgown. It is so deliberate. The writers wanted it to be as scandalous and gross. They wanted Nick to see her looking like that with Matt. It is pure soap opera trash, but it is the kind of trash that makes you angry, not entertained. Sometimes I zoom out and look at the bigger pattern of this show. Y and R has a habit of pushing characters into these dark, irredeemable corners. But this feels different. This feels like they are actively trying to make us hate Phyllis. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe there is some master plan where Phyllis is secretly recording Matt to get a confession out of him, and she had to make it look real. But even if that is true, did she have to go this far? Did she have to let Nick see it? Did she have to let it escalate into a public brawl where Nick's life is ruined even more? No, she didn't. She is making selfish choices, and it is causing a ripple effect of disaster for everyone around her. So now we have Nick teetering on the edge of a massive drug relapse, facing public ruin and a horrible scandal. We have Matt, an amnesiac predator, playing the hero and getting closer to Phyllis. And we have Phyllis wearing a blue nightgown and playing the victim while she dances with the devil. It is a chaotic, messy, dark storyline. And I honestly don't know how any of them come back from it. Victor is going to have to step in. He is going to have to do something drastic to protect Nick and get rid of Matt, especially now that he knows Matt might be his son. The whole thing is just a ticking time bomb. The explosion at the GCAC was just the fallout from this slap, from this seduction, from this public brawl. It is going to shake Genoa City to its core. I am exhausted just thinking. I've been covering this show for a while, and sometimes you just have to throw your hands up and ask, what on earth are we even watching anymore? But I'll be right here watching the next episode because I have to know what happens. You guys know how it is. We complain, we rant, but we can't look away. Let me know what you guys think because my brain is just fried from all this drama.